thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries,
shut up. Bang! Quality over quantity. LeBron has beaten some of the best competition in NBA history. He's the GOAT emoji.
I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not swear. I will not swear.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
Well, it took a lot of time for this show to come together, from the title to how I wanted to format it and everything, the length and all that. Speaking of which, there are going to be a couple of more adjustments made. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the latest and greatest edition of the Brian Snow Show, where sports is the base, life and fun are the result. Presented by BetUS.com and Invader Coffee, we're here to bring you the best sports analysis, stories, and pure entertainment. I'm Brian, and together we'll embark on a journey that celebrates the power of sports to uplift, inspire, and unite us all. And on the show today, Victor Locke will join me for his Random Musings. It's Random Musings Thursday. Had another guest in mind, but with the shift to 4 o'clock beginning next week, decided we're going to keep this format, and then I'm going to import the new format here. Our text line is 502-467-9619. That's 502-467-9619. Let's get right into this, and let's go around the horn, shall we? And we start in the world of college athletics, where LSU gymnast Olivia Dunne announced that she is partnering with Bayou Traditions to help secure name, image, and likeness deals for female athletes at her school. The 20-year-old Dunne established the Livvy Fund, where donors can support Tiger athletes by giving money ranging from $10 to $5,000 monthly. Dunne has more than 15 million followers across her social networks and reportedly earns $3.5 million in endorsement funds. She goes on to say, quote, "As a female student athlete, I've been fortunate enough to build a strong social media following and establish valuable brand partnerships that have launched my career in ways I couldn't imagine. I'm excited to build on this momentum by leveraging my connections and sharing my knowledge in the NIL space to create more opportunities for LSU female student athletes, while emphasizing the importance of bringing NIL funds to women in college sports." Close quote. Bravo, Livvy. Bravo. It's about time someone besides myself and very, very few others really advocate for this for the women, because they deserve it. They're putting in just as much work, if not more, that the men do. Sorry about that. And they need this. They need this. So I'm so glad this is happening. And it also allows money to be raised not only for the female student athletes, but for the school itself. And in the midst of everything that's going on regulation-wise, to see this happening where someone is leveraging their connections to make an impact, I'm all for it. I am absolutely all for it. Let's go on. Grant Williams is going to Dallas. Y'all remember the fellow who tipped in the winning shot against Miami in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals? Well, he is heading to Dallas in a 3-team trade. This was a person knowledge with the agreement said on Wednesday, as Dallas is sending Reggie Bullock and a 2030 pick swap to the Spurs, while the Mavericks and Celtics will each receive multiple second-round picks. Wow. Just wow. I mean, you see how much money is being tossed around here for someone who had a little bit of an impact, but not much of one? You see all that? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy that this kind of money is being tossed around, and these kind of players are being tossed away. Let me say that again. It's crazy that this kind of money is being tossed around, and these kind of players are being tossed away. Because now, what does Boston do to replace that player on their roster? Trying to get everything set up here. What do they do? What do they do? It's a question that the Celtics will have to answer. And Sick Diggy just said it, who joins us from Norway. Money is getting tossed around frivolously. It is. It is. Here's the thing. Since 2011, the NBA has wanted to raise the salary cap gradually, but then the players said we want more power, which I think is unfair, because now the players are controlling the salaries, and it just seems like the government of the NBA has no kind of say whatsoever, which is sad to me. It's absolutely sad to me that it's come to this. And that's part of the reason I honestly cannot in full watch professional sports anymore, because of all the money that's being tossed around. And a lot of it's being tossed around to players that, well, in essence, don't deserve it. I said that aloud, and I mean every single bit of that. It's being tossed around to players that just simply don't deserve it. They just don't deserve it. Have some of these players actually earned their money? There's a question I'd love to have answered, and I think I'll make that a poll question for the chat and for everybody else that's tuning in and listening in today. With some of the players earning as much as they are in professional sports, do you think they really earned it, or are they just being paid by the times for the times? That's about the best. The best way that I can phrase it. That is the best way that I can phrase it. Because honestly, I don't think that's the case. Let's finish up around the horn, shall we? Kobe Bryant is the NBA 2K24 cover athlete for the 4th time. Includes the Black Mamba Edition. 2K released 2 covers featuring the late great Kobe Bryant, with the Kobe Bryant edition featuring the 5-time champion, where he wore his number 8 jersey, and the Black Mamba edition featuring Bryant later in his career, which of course he wore number 24. Pre-orders for the game will be available beginning tomorrow, which is July 7th, with the game's release date to be announced later. 2K said in a tweet, quote, sharing the Mamba mentality with the next generation. So they got both of them. One with 8 and one with 24. This is as mentioned, this is the 4th time Bryant will be on the cover for the video game franchise, having first appeared on NBA 2K10. He was a special edition cover on 2K17 after his death in 2020, which I still don't believe. 2K released a Mamba Forever edition for 2K21 to honor the late Lakers star. And of course, if you don't know about Kobe being a 20-year veteran, Bryant won 5 championships with the Lakers and was a 2-time Finals MVP. He won the MVP award in 2008 and scored 33,643 points in his career, the 4th most in NBA history, and was enshrined into the Hall of Fame in 2020. And it still pains me to say this to this day, but it applies. Rest in peace, Kobe Bean Bryant. Rest in peace. Back in a minute. The thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
I'm in another Thursday nights are wrestling night on CSTV. Tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific to see all the amazing next-level pro wrestling stars on Thursday Night Throwdown on CSTVNow.com and the CSTV app on your Roku device.
PK Tire Pros, your one-stop on-the-spot auto service headquarters for a complete line of quality tires and auto services. For years, we have provided the Stockton, California area with the latest products and unprecedented services for everything we sell. And for years, our customers have been coming back. Take a look around. If you don't find what you need, visit us in Stockton, California. From the latest and best in tire technology to the services required to keep your vehicle looking good and running great, PK Tire Pros can get you out on the road quickly and at an affordable price. Stop by soon to see why so many people consider PK Tire Pros to be the one-stop shop for all of their tire needs. At PK Tire Pros, our friendly and knowledgeable staff, quick and dependable service professionals, and affordable prices all come together to make driving out on a new set of tires easy. On top of that, we never tire of tires. Stop by and see us, and you'll be glad you did.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
Hey folks, looking for the best way to experience live events? SeatGeek has you covered. With just a few taps on your phone, you can find the best seats for concerts, sports, theater, and more. Don't miss out on unforgettable moments. Download the SeatGeek app today and get ready for an experience like no other. Each ticket is vetted for authenticity and ranked on a 1 to 10 scale. And right now, if you use the code SNOWMAN, and you'll have to excuse me because I'm going to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Right now, if you use the code SNOWMAN, you will get $20 off of your first purchase. That's only through the power of SeatGeek. I want to thank SeatGeek for being an affiliate sponsor of this program and of all programming on Snowman Multimedia. I'm going to sneeze again. Excuse me a minute. Wow. I didn't think my hay fever had gotten this bad, even though I'm in the house. But we continue on as the Home Run Derby is now set for Seattle. And the Home Run Derby will take place at T-Mobile Park, formerly known as Safeco Field, in Seattle. And there's one slugger I'm looking at. His name is Luis Robert Jr. He has 25 home runs at this point of the season. And it prompts a question for White Sox fans. Do you think he can set the single season record for home runs by a White Sox player? And I'll do a little trivia about that later on. But the rules are these. The bracket allows single elimination rules with 3 rounds. Contestants have 3 minutes in the first 2 rounds with a 45-second timeout. The final round is 2 minutes with a 45-second timeout. Let's go over the bracket, and it goes like this. The number 1 seed, Luis Robert Jr., will face off against number 8, Adley Reutemann. Robert from the White Sox and Reutemann from the Baltimore Orioles. It's the first Derby appearance for both players who are enjoying strong years and has had a career high in home runs, including 11 in June. As mentioned, the number is 25 for Luis Robert. 4-5 goes Adolis Garcia from the Rangers and Randy Arozarena from the Tampa Bay Rays. Garcia has 21, Arozarena has 16. And this is pegged as one of the more exciting matchups in the Derby with massive power between both players. Garcia's nickname is El Bombi, which means bombs will be expected from the outfielder. I can't wait to watch this home run derby because I haven't had this kind of anticipation because y'all know my main team is the Chicago White Sox. I haven't had this kind of anticipation for a home run derby since Frank Thomas participated in 1994 and 1995. 94, of course, in Pittsburgh, 95 in Texas, and this one is in Seattle. 2-7 goes Pete Alonso and Julio Rodriguez, the hometown favorite. Alonso has 25 home runs. Rodriguez has 13. 3-6 goes Mookie Betts from the Dodgers and Vladdy Guerrero Jr. from the Toronto Blue Jays. Betts has 23 home runs this season. Guerrero has 13 home runs this year. I made my prediction during Snowman in the Morning of who I think will participate in the finals of home run derby. The best part is this is why you go out and do this thing. This is why you go out and do this thing. You would think the 1-8 goes Luis Robert from the White Sox and Adley Rutschman from the Baltimore Orioles. I hope I pronounced that right. If I didn't, please forgive me. First appearance for both players. Robert has 25 home runs. Rutschman has 11. 11. And the winner of that will get the winner of Adolis Garcia, who has 21, and Randy Arozarena, who has 16. Now, Pete Alonso is the wild card because he's already won this thing. And this matchup, Julio Rodriguez and Pete Alonso, is a rematch from the second round of the Derby from last year. And they'll be looking to Alonso, the polar bear, will be looking to get revenge against Julio Rodriguez. Now, the wild card in this is that Julio Rodriguez is at home. Julio Rodriguez is at home. So you never know what's going to happen in a home run derby. Speaking of a home run derby, here's a fellow by the name of Victor Locke who helped me call a home run derby when we were working at Ho Chunk. What's up, Victor?
Probably one of the most exciting moments in Ho Chunk history was calling a home run derby.
And that came at the last minute.
Yeah.
That came at the last minute during a celebration week that Victor and I were covering because it had never happened before.
And basically what happened was all the teams that were participating in that particular tournament, they picked, I want to say, like 2 of their best hitters and brought them up and said, you want to swing for the fences? Here's your chance.
And then Fran came to us because we were done. We were wrapping things up.
Yep.
And then Fran came to us and said, I got a bonus for you. And I looked at Victor and Victor looked at me and we're like, what?
Right.
Because with Fran, you don't know what he was going to come up with.
Well, we always have this term of we were putting the speakers away because we had these 2 big speakers and then we had the amp. That was where we plugged in.
Man, there were some huge speakers.
Yeah, so like we grabbed our speakers, put one on one side and one on the other, plug in the amp and everything. We were going to put our speakers away. And Fran drove on his lawnmower and said, "Hey, you guys want a bonus?" And we're like, "Well, yeah. What is it?"
Yeah.
And he said, "We're going to do a home run derby."
I looked at Victor, he looked at me, and we're both like, "What?"
And we're like, "Absolutely, we will definitely be doing that."
And you know what's bad? The home run derby took as long as a game.
It did.
The home run derby took as long as a game, but it was a close match,
and it was so exciting too.
Because
you don't see a lot of home runs in Little League. You really don't.
No, you don't.
And usually all you're trying to do is win the game.
Unless your mom's watching, you hit a walk-off slam and you get a tap on your shoulder and going, "What happened?"
Yep. Absolutely. But it was just
All
like, okay, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. All right, Victor. Luis Robert, who leads the majors with 25 home runs, is the number 1 seed in this tournament. We haven't seen that.
No, we haven't.
We haven't seen that from a White Sox player. Not even Frank Thomas.
No.
Not even Frank Thomas, who participated in 2 home run derbies.
And that's got to be the coolest thing in the world if you're a White Sox player or if you're a White Sox fan.
It's cool for me.
You know, because even though Frank Thomas wasn't the number 1 seed, he was one of the most prolific.
Yeah. Well, let me make a correction. He's tied for the most home runs for anyone participating in this derby because Pete Alonso has 25 for the New York Mets. And then you got the case of Julio Rodriguez, who is at home. That ain't fair.
No, it's not, because
Julio Rodriguez is playing in his is participating in this event in his park.
In his park, so everybody. Not only is it going to get louder for whenever he knocks one out, but it's going to be very, very quiet so that he can concentrate. So you're going to get a lot of that lull, and then the roar once the ball leaves the yard.
And you get 3 minutes to hit as many home runs. I like the fact that they timed it.
And hey, this works well for
10 outs anymore.
Yep. Hey, this works well for pitchers too, because all you gotta do is you just gotta throw regular pitches. You don't have to worry about location. Just throw a pitch over the plate and let them hit.
Exactly. That's it.
The whole idea is I'm gonna let you hit. Go ahead.
And it's what's oh man, my good buddy Blanky, who is a game show fanatic like I am. We'll talk about some game shows next segment. Is checking in with us. Good to see you, buddy. Getting friends from all over the place. But I wish I could just see this one in person.
Yeah.
I wish I could see this one in person because I've seen Luis Robert hit home runs before. The one he hit against Toronto on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yipe. If y'all could have seen that one leave the yard.
Man, that's when when you see the cover separate from the ball.
You had a funny conversation. Speaking of home runs, one of my favorite hitters of all time is Jermaine Dye.
Yeah.
Is Jermaine Dye. Man, Victor told me that I gotta share this funny story from our days of working Cabo. The days of working Ho Chunk. I beg your pardon. This was a year before Victor joined me at the park. The White Sox were playing the Red Sox.
Yep.
On a Saturday afternoon, I had Victor in my ear through my phone, and I kept saying, I was wondering what the score was because I couldn't get up and walk and watch the game in the bar because I had a game in front of me. All I heard Victor say was, "There's no score in the bottom of the second," and then like 3 seconds later, "Well, there's a score now. It's 1-0."
Yep.
And I said, "What?"
So basically, I'm talking to my girlfriend at the time, and I get the notification that another phone call's coming in.
Right.
And I said, "Oh, this is Brian." So I figured, hey, let me try for the first time a conference call. So I put it in, and I got Sade in one side, and I got Brian the other, and all Brian says, "Talk to me." Now, whenever he says "talk to me," that means, oh, White Sox are playing. Let me get my play-by-play chops going. And I believe it was the second inning.
Yep.
And Jermaine Dye comes up, and I said, top of the second inning, no score. Click. Up, there's a score now. 1-0, White Sox. And my girlfriend, who is confused, was like,
"That's all get out."
Yeah. It's like, how do you know it's 1-0? And I just said, because I saw that bleep. I saw that bleep grow 2 legs and leave the park. And the thing was, we have what's known as no doubters. Every person knows when a no doubter happens.
Yes.
Yordan Alvarez.
Oh God.
Once
Wait a minute. Wait. He said Yordan Alvarez.
Folks, Alvarez.
Y'all want to see a definition of? Well, I don't have it now. Y'all, I'll have to get it in a minute. But go on, Victor.
And once that happened, it was like crazy that it happened.
Mm-hmm. That's nuts. It was absolutely nuts that it happened that way. But what can you do? What can you do, man? And see, why'd you have to mention Yordan Alvarez to me? Knowing how much I love watching Yordan Alvarez. Knowing how much I love watching Yordan Alvarez. If I have to pick a favorite slugger right now, it would be him. It would be him.
Right.
But that's just not fair.
No. And what was crazy about that particular shot was, like I said, you could tell when from a pitcher's perspective, from a fan's perspective, you could tell it's a no doubter. But from a pitcher's perspective, you also can tell when it's a no doubter because where the ball is
look on the pitcher's face.
Not just that, but where the ball is placed. If you put it anywhere between belt high or right at the knees, and it doesn't move to either the outside or the inside, if it's just laid up over the plate, and when they swing the bat and it just hits right dead center, it's gone. It's gone.
It's going nowhere except in this. How many times have we seen Jim Thome do that?
That's one of my favorite hitters.
How many times have we seen Jim Thome do that?
Yeah. And people knew immediately.
Mm-hmm. He hit one against the Minnesota Twins in the blackout game, 2008. Yeah. Man, as soon as he swung it, you knew it was gone.
Yeah.
As soon as he swung it, you knew, okay, that's not coming back.
Yeah, and you're like,
and I love hearing the reaction of some of the announcers. Homo Road, that's it a long way, and that's not coming back.
Yeah. Yep. It's a long way. It's not coming back. And you're like, oh, well, goodbye.
All right, let's throw a question to the chat and to everyone tuning in. Victor, for you, who are your 3 favorite sluggers that you watched in your lifetime?
3 favorite sluggers. I gotta go with my man KG. Or sorry, I call him KG2, Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey Jr., Frank Thomas, Jim Thome. Those are my 3 top of line sluggers.
I can't argue with that. There's no way I can argue with that. Ken Griffey Jr., Jim Thome, and Frank Thomas.
Because
there's your murderer's row right there.
Because Ken Griffey Jr. had like this just absolutely beautiful swing. It was just scientifically
one of the prettiest swings I ever saw. One of the prettiest swings I ever watched.
When Frank Thomas hit it, you knew that was it.
Man, Frank Thomas gets a hold of one. You may as well just mark in the scorebook how many runs it's going to produce.
Yep. To the point where people would say, okay, whereas 2 on Frank Thomas at the bat, it's going to be 3. It's going to be 3 runs added in. Because he was also very patient. And Jim Thome would be
which is something you don't see from a right-handed hitter nowadays.
Yes.
No patience.
That's the big thing that I've noticed between now and the games we watched in the past is there's no judgment. There's no eye judgment for batters now where they're like,
you know how you know how people would say good eye? You don't hear that anymore.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Because everyone's going for the home run ball. They're going for the knockout. So just keep swinging at anything that'll chase. I mean, we remember back in the day, you probably would have bats would probably maybe go at most 6 pitches. Now, 7, 8, 9 pitches, 10 pitches because they're just chopping at junk and fouling everything off. And then here comes a pitch that's like completely outside. They swing and miss terribly, and now it's an out.
And they have no strength to connect on the pitch that was right there for them.
And if they do connect, there's not enough power to it. You're right.
For me, you basically said 3 of my favorites already: Ken Griffey Jr., Jim Thome, and Frank Thomas. Remember Edgar Martinez?
Edgar Martinez
from the Seattle Mariners.
Yep.
Edgar Martinez has got to be added to that list. Barry Bonds, of course.
Yeah, I know people are gonna jump on the whole.
Man, shut up. Barry
Here's the
Bonds deserves his spot in the Hall of Fame.
Period. Here's the thing. Yes, could he have possibly used steroids? Sure, you can go with that.
Mm-hmm.
Steroids doesn't change your judgment in terms of a pitch. Steroids does not correct your swing.
Steroid doesn't adjust your speed.
Exactly.
And Barry Bonds besides Ken Griffey Jr., Barry Bonds had the quickest swing to the ball.
Exactly.
He had the quick, and he got faster.
A lot of people don't
realize.
Here's
the crazy part: he got faster.
A lot of people don't realize your strength doesn't really dictate whether or not you're going to hit the ball or hit the ball at the park. It's more so where you hit the ball, where the bat hits the ball, and whether you get underneath it, you're over it, or you're right on center.
Exactly. Sig Diggy just said, how many sluggers have learned to read the pitch? Lately, not many.
Not many.
Here's a few that Ryan, Don Mattingly, of course, Donnie Baseball, Mark McGuire, and Vlad Sr.
Big Mac.
And Vladimir Jr. is just like his daddy.
I mean, remember the space race between St. Louis and Chicago and the Cubs?
Oh, yeah.
Sammy Sosa and Mark
McGuire.
Yep.
Oh, hell yeah.
Channel 9 used to run specials about that all the time.
Mm-hmm. And all the highlights you saw was, did Mark McGuire hit a home run? Did Sammy Sosa hit a home run? And
how many?
How far did it go?
And how many? Because they weren't known for just hitting one. They were usually hitting more than one. I think at that time, Mac was like averaging 3 a night or 3 a game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the September 13th, 1998 happened when Sosa caught McGuire at 62 home runs apiece.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it was crazy.
That was a crazy day.
And go ahead.
Let's pause for a break. When we come back, we're going to go off the board a little bit. Now, Brian, what do you have in mind? I'll explain when y'all return. The thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
Hey y'all, Snowman here. Catch me, Cole Johnson, Wise El Jefe, Vicala, and the rest of the usual suspects and a few unusual suspects as we bring you 2 hours of the best sports talk you will ever watch and listen to. It's called Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Now on at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific on CSTV and CSTVNow.com. Join us, won't you?
This planet has been great to me. It's given me gifts that I can't even explain. It's given me adventures and memories I'll never forget. And Battleborn, I think, has given me the opportunity to go beyond and give something back. How can I be a better custodian to this planet and the place I live? That's where I am with Battleborn. Let's make the planet a better place.
PK Tire Pro is your one-stop on-the-spot auto service headquarters for a complete line of quality tires and auto services. For years, we have provided the Stockton, California area with the latest products and unprecedented services for everything we sell. And for years, our customers have been coming back. Take a look around. If you don't find what you need, visit us in Stockton, California. From the latest and best in tire technology to the services required to keep your vehicle looking good and running great, PK Tire Pros can get you out on the road quickly and at an affordable price. Stop by soon to see why so many people consider PK Tire Pros to be the one-stop shop for all of their tire needs. At PK Tire Pros, our friendly and knowledgeable staff, quick and dependable service professionals, and affordable prices all come together to make driving out on a new set of tires easy. On top of that, we never tire of tires. Stop by and see us, and you'll be glad you did.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
We keep going on this edition of the Brian Snow Show. Thank you for joining us. We're talking sluggers here, and Victor Locke has joined me. And one name that he mentioned, I didn't get a chance to do this, and I was fidgeting around on my computer. But he mentioned, I don't know, Yordan Alvarez. And Yordan Alvarez last October did this.
0-1. And Alvarez belts it deep to right field. Distant goodbye. Unbelievable. The Astros a walk-off win. Yordan Alvarez a walk-off 3-run homer. And the Astros stun the Mariners in Game 1 of the division series. Incredible.
The House of Horrors for the Seattle Mariners continues.
When Yordan takes that long to trot to get to first base and trotting the bases, you know he got a hold of one. Sick Diggy says, here's another name we can't forget regarding the greatest sluggers, Tony Gwynn. Tony Gwynn was more of a complete hitter than a slugger.
Yeah.
Tony Gwynn wasn't a slugger per se. He was a complete hitter.
He was a complete hitter with slugger abilities.
Yeah, but see, Gwynn wanted to pepper you to death.
Yeah.
In terms of his hits.
Yeah.
Gwynn wanted to just place the ball here and there, and
he was a small ball savant.
There, thank you. Perfect.
He was a small ball savant. I gotta give a shout out to Ryan McCarthy because he brought up a name that I also enjoy, Albert Pujols, AP.
Albert Pujols.
Because again, another guy who is kind of a complete hitter.
Mm-hmm. Pujols was always a complete hitter to me.
And Glenn, to me, is the type of person that you want in your lineup. Someone who is more wanting to do small ball, more wanting to manufacture runs rather than tear the cover off.
Right.
That's the big difference. You want someone who will pepper with a couple of shots, but instead of tearing the cover off, they want to get the ball in the gaps.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe get you a double. Get someone to round third and head for home.
Right.
Which is what you're not seeing now. You're not even seeing a lot of drills for triples anymore.
You know what? Big Dog just mentioned a name that I loved watching. Andres Galarraga, the big cat.
Andres Galarraga.
Andres the giant guy. Andres the giant Galarraga.
Carlos Quentin, another White Sox player.
Yeah. Quentin never panned out like I'd hoped.
No, he had really good grind.
He was a power hitter in the making, but he never really panned out.
He didn't really have the patience of going for the ball. He could get one if it's high hanging, he can belt it with no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta be able to do that consistently. You can't just have, this is the pitch I'm gonna go out there, because not everyone's gonna throw that pitch. Every pitcher is going to see how you swing and know where your hot and cold zones are. And so they'll start putting pitches in that spot.
True.
So if you have a high-hanging curve where you can drive, you're going to start going for more sinkers. You'll start seeing more fork balls or knuckle balls that are going to throw towards the bottom of the plate where you can't hit.
Yeah. And Big Dog mentioned Edgar Martinez. Edgar Martinez was more of a Tony Gwynn type, but Martinez added more power to his game.
Mm-hmm. But that's the thing. When it comes to complete hitters, I'll ask you this, no man. When it comes to hitters, what is the one thing that you would say is the most important thing for someone to practice when they're hitting?
Give you two: patience and an eye.
Patience and an eye.
Because I can tell you, as a former slugger myself, I never had patience, ever.
because
I never had patience.
Because I see people practicing on bat speed rather than the eye.
Yeah. So very true. All right, let's move on. How many game shows have you watched in your lifetime?
Come on. Started. We'll start with some of our most well-known ones. TPIR.
Of course.
Wheel of Fortune. Jeopardy. Jeopardy is always going to have us.
My mother-in-law and my wife hate when I watch Jeopardy with them.
I'm going to put it like this. Jeopardy is always going to have a very soft spot in my heart. In fact, I had to go into the bathroom and cried after I found out that Alex had passed away.
Same.
Because my grandmother, God rest her soul, she got me hooked on Jeopardy when she would watch me. She had a little notepad and she would write down names and then we would answer questions back and forth. And, she would put check down and see who won. And I never beat her. The closest I came was 1 point.
Man, see, Wheel of Fortune and I and my mother-in-law have a love-hate relationship. And I mean this very playfully, because there was one evening when my mother-in-law was watching Wheel of Fortune. And I had just gotten out of the hospital. I think I was less than 5 weeks removed from being out of the hospital.
Okay.
And I was out of it, man. As y'all know, I am a diabetic, and I don't know what got into me this one time. I don't know what the hell got into me this one time. But I came downstairs. I couldn't see because my insulin level was I basically crashed.
Okay.
I as a diabetic, I crashed.
Right.
I crashed. And I I came downstairs and I said, "What?" My mother-in-law, I took my shot of insulin. I got a snack, and I said, "How do I do this?" Because I'm trying to figure out how the hell am I going to get back upstairs.
Right.
And then I see Wheel of Fortune. My mother-in-law is watching, and they're playing the bonus round.
Right.
And I now remember, folks, I'm a diabetic, and I crashed. So I had to get some insulin. I had to get some food in me also because I hadn't eaten that day because I was so weak. Yeah, my mother-in-law just looked at me and says, "Okay, solve this puzzle." They're playing the bonus round. Food and drink was the category.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, I looked up for 2 seconds and I saw like 2 letters in the puzzle. And I said, "Oh, that's easy. Frozen yogurt."
And I bet she pulled up the best Chris Bass line. Egro be lying.
If you could have seen the look on my mother-in-law's face if you could have seen the look on my mother-in-law's face, she just looked at me and it wound up being the puzzle.
Right.
Frozen yogurt wound up being the puzzle.
Nice.
And she just looked at me and went, "How?" And at that point in time, my wife walked in the house. At that point in time, as soon as the puzzle revealed itself to be frozen yogurt, my wife walked in the house. She sees Wheel of Fortune, looks at me.
Knew what you did.
Thank you.
She knew what you did.
Thank you. And my mother-in-law said, "I don't know how he does it." And then my wife, Jody, chimes in and says, And he says he's not smart. I said, well, the puzzle was there.
Right. You're like, I don't know. I just knew it.
And Jody looked at me and said, how many letters did you see in that puzzle? 3?
2, 3, maybe?
And she teases me to this day. They both do. Bless both their hearts. And like, no, you knew that puzzle before he turned it around. No, I did not.
Like, I just got down here.
I just got downstairs.
Oh, man. A little funny little story from when I first started working here at Blue Cross Blue Shield. We decided, or the company decided, that we're going to hold kind of like a full-on, like, 4-team Jeopardy style type of game. And so everyone's getting these these questions, and they put me and another person, her name Brooklyn, on to my team, and we were like basically two of the smartest in the group. I'm not gonna lie. And so we got a pretty good lead, and there's another team that's like maybe 200 points behind us.
Yes.
And they said, okay, well, first, before we do the final question, you have to bid how much we're going to wager.
Oh no!
And she said, she's like, we're going to wager all of it. And I was like, we don't know what the question is. She's like, no, we're going to wager all of it. I said, well, you're the captain, so let's go. And we go on there, and mind you, we have our own like little chat box that only goes to certain people. So I was sitting here, and they gave us the question, and I see on the text saying, oh crap, I don't know this answer. I said, do you want me to write it? She said, yes, please. So I wrote down in detail the formula that was needed, the procedure that was needed, put it in, and we end up winning.
Wow.
And she was like, thank you, because I would look like a complete idiot if we got that wrong. I'm like, yeah, that's why I told you to wait. But that's the thing, like Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, Family Feud, Pressure Luck. Then you go to some of the ones that I didn't even know of that you put me onto, like Match Game, like Card Sharks, Concentration, Password Plus, Hollywood Squares.
The old one.
The old Hollywood Squares.
Speaking of game shows, let's bring my buddy Blanky into the fray. What's up, Blanky?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, how are we doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing good.
Now, there was something. Let me explain why Blanky is here, because I got hooked on watching a YouTube channel that had an inflated budget for Pressure Luck, and they call it Whamageddon. I got hooked on Whamageddon and Whamageddon XL, and Blanky had played most of the games. How'd you get started in playing those games, Blanky?
Actually, I'm the guy who created Whamageddon to begin with.
That's right. That's right. You did mention that. He did create it. Well, what gave you the idea?
Well, let me start from the beginning. So, I'm Blanky, and I'm on this chat as Big Wheel Blanky. I'm a aspiring graphic designer, voice actor, and things like that. I've done some things you get a few commercials, and I've done a little voice work for a company called Oddworld Inhabitants, which create the Oddworld Abe's Odyssey games.
Oh, wow. Right.
And I'm very into Bop It. It's one of my passions. I started in 2009 and it's worked all the way. I got into the Bop It community. I met my best buddy on the internet, Sam Locke. He's really, shout out to Sam Locke. He's he's live right now on his YouTube channel doing his electronic game stream. He's also a world record holder for 2 games. He holds the world record for Bop It Smash, which is 1,073, and he's tied for world record on Bop It Beats, 264. He lost his Bop It Tetris world record 866 to Dylan P, which is now 874. But that's enough of that. So basically, like, I knew about Press Your Luck a little bit, but like it wasn't until like I decided I played it on VR chat. I'm like, wow, this is actually good than I thought. And then I find out about the 2019 show. I haven't watched a lot of cable since we got Disney Plus back in 2020. I saw this and I got the GameStar Plus board game, and then I showed Sam. Sam is from the UK. He's from England, so he hadn't heard of Press Your Luck till I brought it up. And yeah, me and him were big fans of it. We'd always play the 2010 game on the computer, and then like I had an idea one time. What would it be like if we made our own? Because like he made some freelance game projects before. I'm like, what would happen if we had made a version of Press Your Luck that combines every single version in one? He liked the idea, so we started working on it. We went through a few name changes, some ideas and specs and stuff like that, some little custom whammy tidbits we do. We landed on the name Whamageddon because we didn't know about the Wham Challenge or even the episode of Press Your Luck named that, but because it's Whammy and Armageddon, basically it's basically a bigger version of Press Your Luck. So what happened was like we had my friend BitWizard, who I'm working with, BitWizard64, created a mock-up render, which we showed around, and we got in contact with Smash Whammy, showed him that, and he really liked it. He liked the idea, the sound design we had made. So he made an expert edition version of it. I talked to him. He made an expert edition version, and then we started getting that on plush. All the assets for it were customly revamped. We had some more things in it and reintroduced some old mechanics from Whammy into a proper Press Your Luck format. So we did what Whammy didn't and made it increasingly hard. So Plush took that, made XL. XL, people have confused XL to be the original game and Whamageddon as a spinoff. That's not true. It's the other way around. So what Press Your Luck Whamageddon is as a whole is a tribute to Press Your Luck's entire legacy, even down to Second Chance. And right now in VR chat, GS Genesis has been putting it in VR. He's been completely remodeling it from scratch. He's made some he's made a completely custom soundtrack for things like it. And like it's an all around, it's accurate. We keep it as accurate as we can to Press Your Luck. We don't change things. We don't we don't fix things that aren't broken. We're just trying to make an all around positive experience for Press Your Luck Whamageddon. By the way, Whamageddon XL, that is that's one I didn't really want to bring up because that one is exclusive to Plush's YouTube channel.
Right.
But that's basically that's Whamageddon in itself. It's just a bigger and more in-depth version of Press Your Luck. It's not just about big money though. It's also paying tribute to what Bill Carruthers created and expanding on it even farther than the usual norm, because it's always. And even the square count on the expert edition, you can't do stuff. But the original square count was going to be 46 squares, but it got shortened down to 30 and 32.
30 squares of Press Your Luck. I can't wait.
Yeah, that's basically all I really got to say about that. There's a lot of things involved with it. Whamageddon XL actually has the completely custom soundtrack by GS Genesis, which we have uploaded a few. We cannot share that though.
All right. Man, Blanky, I love having you on the show. I was supposed to have Dark Clown on, but with the shift coming to 4 p.m. beginning next week, I'm going to move him to next week, but I will extend the same open invite to you. Anytime you want to come on and talk, whatever you want to talk, you are welcome, my friend.
I've also been creating my own game shows. I've created 2 for Gaming Show Productions. They are Lucky Zero and Triple Ace.
Tell me about Lucky Zero.
So Lucky Zero, it was another game show I had. It was a completely different name. It was based off of a slot machine from the 1930s, 40s called the Jennings Little Duke, which is untraditional. So slot machines have 3 reels next to each other that spin in the same direction. This one had 3 wheels on top of each other, like they're all like basically there's a little layer, a middle layer, and an outer layer, and they all spin in opposite directions. I was going to make a game show off of that, but I don't have that many resources to make it, and I can't even afford one of those things for an example. So I recycled it and created something different, and I created, Lucky Zero. I had some help from the people over my server. My server is called Bop It Rift. which is just nostalgic multimedia. My group name is called the NJ Arcade. We're going to be making like some projects soon, like actual video games and things like that. But basically, Lucky Zero is a trivia game with a lot of luck elements involved. So basically, what will happen is you'll be given a trivia question. What you do is you'll buzz in, you answer, and you have control of the wheel. Now the wheel has values 0 to 9 and a pot. Basically, how it works is when you spin the wheel, you stop it, you add a digit to the pot. If you complete the pot, add all the digits, you get the cash.
Nice.
It's usually 4 to 5. Even there's a bonus game, but in order to see that, I recommend either watching it on my channel or on GSP to get how the game works.
Okay.
Tonight we're going to be premiering Triple Ace, which is a card game I created. Based on the same project as what Lucky Zero was, but this one keeps it a little more streamlined.
Okay.
There's not trivia. It's all cards and stuff like that. There was a spin-off I was making called Lucky Zero Bingo, but nobody really cared for it, so I ended up scrapping it.
Okay. Well, I love having you on, man. Talking all kinds of game shows and all kinds of creations. You have an open invite anytime you want to come on. Just let me know.
It's not just game shows even. So we're good. We have good ties with the guy who created Bop It. The guy who created Bop It, Darren Klitzner. He's a really nice person. He's really cool. He created. So in 2002, he created a game called New Jam Guitar, which is a Bop It style guitar game where it's all like music and things like that. You got to keep with the rhythm. Like it's all custom sounds on there. There's no stock sound effect. You can't find those anywhere. We told him we wanted to recreate that in a video game format, and he said you can go do it. So we're going to be recreating that as a game called NJ Rockout. It's going to be free to play. It's going to be just like the original. We're just doing it our own way with things like that. We have a lot of game projects. Whamageddon is one of them. Whamageddon is actually what's kind of starting us off as like our little studio. Like we don't really have a budget. We're just doing what we can. Like we have zero budget. We don't have that much money to do these things, but we do them anyway because like we have such like dedicated people and like help from others. It's just purely amazing. And the fact that Whamageddon is where it is now is just nothing. Like this is like the first thing that we've really done that's kind of gotten big.
Fabulous.
Enough said.
Fabulous. We gotta go to a break. But Blanky, thanks for coming on, buddy. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. By the way, I'm standing by for our match later.
All right, I'm standing. I can't wait. I can't wait to play against you, my friend. Thanks, buddy.
All right. I'll see you then.
All right, I'll see you then. We're gonna take 3 minutes. Victor and I will be back, and Deion Sanders is doing something no other college football coach has the nerve to do. Back in the field. The thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
If you talk and they will hear you.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription. and never shared with friends or family, it's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
So talk back here. You can do it if you try.
He was only 58 years old when he passed away. That outcome could have been different.
Colorado happens to be one of the worst states for radon levels.
It's in our ground and it seeps up.
The more you breathe radon, the more chance you have of DNA being hit and the cell mutated. The EPA estimates 22,000 lung cancer deaths a year caused by radon.
We all make choices. When it comes to alcohol, kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Have fun. Hey, have a seat for a second. Remind me about that party again?
Alex is just...
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. They want guidance and honest answers to their questions. And it makes a difference when the message is consistent and part of everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
The thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up. Bang! Quality over quantity. LeBron has beaten some of the best competition in NBA history. He's the GOAT emoji. I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not swear. I will not swear.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
And looks like Snowman's had to step away, so Vikala, for at least time being, is taking over. Welcome back to the Brian Snow Show. Oh, never mind. I think he's coming back. I see him.
The thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
Done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
So tell me here, you can do it if you try.
He was only 58 years old when he passed away. That outcome could have been different.
Colorado happens to be one of the worst states for radon levels.
It's in our ground, and it seeps up.
The more you breathe radon, the more chance you have of DNA being hit and the cell mutated. The EPA estimates 22,000 lung cancer deaths a year caused by radon.
We all make choices. When it comes to alcohol, kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Have fun. Hey, have a seat for a second. Remind me about that party again?
Alex is just...
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. They want guidance and honest answers to their questions. And it makes a difference when the message is consistent and part of everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Victor, cover me. I'll be right back. Thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
Done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
If you talk, they will hear you.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
So tell me here, you can do it if you try.
He was only 58 years old when he passed away. That outcome could have been different.
Colorado happens to be one of the worst states for radon levels.
It's in our ground, and it seeps up.
The more you breathe radon, the more chance you have of DNA being hit and the cell mutated. The EPA estimates 22,000 lung cancer deaths a year caused by radon.
We all make choices. When it comes to alcohol, kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
You have fun. Hey, have a seat for a second. Remind me about that party again?
Alex is just...
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. They want guidance and honest answers to their questions.
Sorry about the last time. I was a bit muted. Figured I would talk a little about what we were going to talk about.
I'm gonna wrap this up here because my stomach is doing backflips right now, and I would be doing y'all a disservice if I try to continue. And I am not in the best shape right now.
Look, man, do what you need to do.
Okay, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, this is one of the times where my stomach is really getting the best of me, and I hate that this is going on right now.
No need to apologize. Your body is telling you to do something.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this. Just give me a few minutes, folks. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna run one more set of breaks, and I'm gonna see how I feel, and hopefully, I'll get a chance. I'll get a chance to continue. So give me about another 4 minutes, and I'll get this figured out. I think I know what it is. I just got to get something. I just got to get something to drink, and I got to take care of my belly. I'll be back. The thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
So talk, they hear you. You can do it if you try.
Hey, thanks for sticking with me, folks. Here's what happened. I had eaten lunch earlier, and I figure I'll be totally transparent with you guys, especially those of you who know the surgery I had last year. I am still in the process of figuring out what foods I can have, what I can't have, and how much of digestive enzymes I need to take before and after each meal, because for the past 4 months it had fluctuated because I had such issues with my stomach. I didn't know what to take and when to take and where to take it and everything. So my wife and I have come up with a game plan where I just measure my sugar and measure the creon, that's the digestive enzyme that I take. And one of the side effects of creon, for those of you who have gone through any kind of surgery involving your pancreas or any problems involving your pancreas, or for those of you who have um, dealt with pancreatic cancer, past, present, or future, if you're instructed to take Creon, A, you're going to take it the remainder of your life, and B, it's going to produce a very horrid side excuse me, a very horrid side effect, and that was the problem I was having with my belly. So one of the rules, and I said this the other night, that I cannot eat before I go on the air, even if it's a couple of hours spread, and I didn't allow the couple of hours to pass, and that's on me because when I got up this morning, I didn't have breakfast. Big mistake. And I have to space out my eating, so, and especially with the change in time of the afternoon show coming, that should give me a little more time to have everything processed. But that happened. I'm sorry it happened on the air, but I figure I'll be as transparent as I can. Um, I'll be as transparent as I can with you guys. That's why I had the extended break on top of the extended break on top of the extended break. And it happened when I took Lucy, my dog, out for a few minutes. I figured, okay, I got 4 minutes. I can get Lucy out. And then that's when my stomach really started acting crazy. So I raced back in. I went to the restroom. And then while I was coming back in, Victor was covering me, and thank you, Victor, for that. But then he saw me pop on the screen, like y'all saw me pop on the screen. But I had to run a couple of extra breaks because some of the things that I put in my system, I can no longer have, and caffeine is one of those things that I can no longer have, to the point where the package of coffee that I bought, I have thrown out because I can't have it anymore. I just simply can't. As bad as I know some days I would want to have it and that I feel the need to have it, it's an addiction I intend to kick. And that addiction is to caffeine, because caffeine has done some horrible things to me, and now I'm finally getting some sense knocked into my head about it. The other thing that affects me is sugar. As y'all know, I'm a type 2 diabetic. I have to really watch how much sugar that Ryan, thank you. I won't say I won't get I'll say this. I will drink it sparingly. I have to drink it sparingly until it's gone. And Ryan, I will still use that bag that you sent me. The thing is with me, the problem, and I'm admitting this aloud, and it's a problem that I've had most of my life, excess. Something would taste so good to me, food or drink wise, that I would
But you
have
need
too
more
much.
of it. But you need more of it.
Yep.
Because
And
we
I
all
gotta,
have that. I have that.
because I gotta remember, I can't eat everything in the world anymore. Ryan, what flavor did you send me? Because whatever flavor you send me, I promise I will try it and review it. That's a promise that I will keep. I have a horrible problem, and this is when I was battling weight problems. I have a horrible problem with excess because I had being the operative word, such an appetite, even at times when I thought my stomach was bigger than my eyes.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem that I've had in the year plus from surgery. Now, I am blessed beyond belief to be rid of the cancer. I am blessed beyond belief to who is this? That's Binks? Binks is yelling at me, but I am blessed beyond measure to be where I am on the verge of turning 51 in a couple of weeks, because I was given a death sentence by Duke University Cancer Center.
Quick question.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever tried stevia?
No.
It's a natural sweetener. I'm not sure. I use it because I don't like using sugar anymore. It's something that I've been using for my apple cider vinegar tonic. It's just as good as regular sugar.
Yeah.
But I don't think it has the same type of problems that sugar would give you. So if you're looking for something that will sweeten whatever drink you're using, I would just liquid stevia, but I would check with your doctor first.
Yeah, I think my doctor recommends it. My doctor actually said I can have coffee, but no more than 2 cups. And of course, my wife made the joke, as y'all see this cup on my screen. This is not a cup, but I have to pay attention. I have to pay attention to that now. Yeah. I overdid it on the coffee today. I freely admit that. So, send you a bag of the Mexican chocolate blend. I will make a promise to Ryan. I will have it, but I will have it in stages. I can't do the 20-ounce cup anymore, as I was so used to doing. And stevia is something I will start using. Matter of fact, I don't know why I didn't think of it, because I was using it in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even think of it. I got out and I very foolishly thought, okay, everything's going to be better now. Ha! Wrong.
We all
Dead
think that.
wrong.
We all think that once we, kick one thing or get rid of one situation, then we're back to doing whatever we want, and
that's just not the case.
It comes back to haunt you. That's all it is.
It just came. Well, it came back today to kick me in the ass. It came back today tenfold, and I'm sorry. This is one of the days where it just happened to catch me while I was on the air. But I will make y'all a promise. Each and every moment of each and every day, I will get better at this, to a point where everyone will know when I'm doing better, and I will have a lineup of pinch hitters just in case my body decide we'll decide how everything goes. Today was great. Today during the morning was great. I just didn't expect it to hit me with a sucker punch this afternoon. I have now learned my lesson. There's a certain time, what I will do from here on out, there's a certain time during the day where I will not drink any more coffee. And I can't use the liquid sweetener either.
Okay.
I cannot use the liquid sweetener.
Liquid sugar or?
I love those sweeteners.
Yeah.
Those creamers. That's the one
Creamers.
That's what I'm looking for. I think it's the creamer that, as well as the coffee, that's kicking me in the tail.
Yeah.
It's the creamer that's kicking me in the tail. So I got to go full stevia from here on out. I got to go full stevia from here on out.
Mm-hmm.
So that is how I'm going to handle it. And there's a mug that I want. There's a coffee mug that I want to get, and there are 2 purposes. 1, it'll be personal, but 2, it'll keep me aware of how much I'm drinking. And 3, I have to remind myself I can't get any more creamer, because until I find one that uses stevia instead of natural sugar, I'm in trouble.
Right.
I'm in trouble. And Ryan says, it took me a while, but I learned to drink my coffee with no sweeteners. How long did it take you? Because I know that's eventually what I'm going to have to do. That is eventually what I am going to have to do. I realize that now.
Bill does that. Bill has gotten me to kind of do that too, because when he asks, when we have coffee at his place, he doesn't put sugar in it. He'll put some milk in it or some cream in it, but that's it.
But how long does it take for you to get used to it?
You don't really get used to it, but you take in the flavor of the coffee rather than because when you're drinking coffee, I learned this when I was a kid. You're drinking coffee, you look for that sweet. sweetness of it because it's what you're used to. You're used to putting sugar, cream,
And
all
that's
stuff
what
in there.
got me hooked on coffee anyway.
Right. But when you're older, and that's why a lot of people drink black coffee, is because you're just one taste of the coffee itself.
Mm-hmm.
It is weird because it's just like you're drinking water and beans. but no, actually, and I think Invader Coffee probably has the right idea of having like a more flavor type of coffee. So you may not even need sugar, especially if it's the Mexican chocolate blend. You may not even need sugar because you already will have that taste of chocolate from the coffee itself.
You know what? I can back this up with some good news.
Mm-hmm.
I just got an email just a moment ago.
Okay.
You see the smile on my face, right?
Yes, I do.
You are now eligible to apply for the YouTube Partner Program. I just got it. I just got this 30 seconds ago. Not even 30 seconds ago.
May be the first to say congratulations.
Thank you.
And
thank you so much.
And to quote a guy who's unfortunately no longer with us, but one of my favorite wrestlers, Scott Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Fight your best, dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do.
Well, I'm the baddest of the bad guys. Doggone it.
But
I'm the baddest of the bad guys. Oops. Even with that happening, my mic going upside down on me.
but this is a reminder of hard work and perseverance paying off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just got that word, like I said, about 30 seconds ago.
Nice.
So I'm definitely doing this before me and Blanket go head to head playing Whamageddon.
Okay.
this afternoon. I'm going to turn the rest of the show into an Ask Brian Anything.
Okay, I was going to ask, did you still want to talk about Deion? Because I was going to say, like, for me as a Cowboys fan, there's not a lot of things that makes me smile and makes me proud, but Deion is definitely one of those.
Well, here's what Deion did.
Okay.
He stripped down the roster he inherited and built it back up with the nation's #1 ranked class of incoming transfer players. And that was largely enabled by a rule change 2 years ago that allowed undergraduate players to transfer to other teams without first sitting out of the year.
Mm-hmm.
It also took a lot of nuts from Deion, who got rid of players he didn't want while enticing new ones to join a program that has only had 2 winning seasons in the past 17 years. Mm-hmm. He is building this from the ground up.
Yeah. Well, it's like I said before, he's cultivating leaders. Mm-hmm. It's something that I heard from Cole Sports.
Yes.
They're talking about Deion, was how he basically everybody's numbers. So his players do not have numbers because he wants them to earn to wear a number on a team.
He wants them to earn it. He wants them to earn it as well. He should.
He's from a school of hard knocks. Nothing was handed to you.
Nothing was handed to him.
Right.
I mean, this is the same guy who told a very, very funny story about being run over by Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean, Bo was a senior, Deion was a freshman. And I never forget the way Deion said it. I went and got Bo, but then he put his hand on me like he was blessing me like a preacher does. Mm-hmm. And anybody who hasn't seen that story or that clip, look up Bo Jackson versus Deion Sanders. But not only is he building a team, he's building, I don't know, what's that word? That 7-letter word I'm looking for. A culture.
Culture.
He's building a culture.
Yeah. But that's the thing is that we don't have that anymore. We don't have a coach who's gonna really make you earn everything. It's something Six said yesterday when we were pinch hitting.
Right.
We come from the era of the participatory trophy.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gets a trophy. Everybody gets a ribbon. Everyone's you did a good job. And it's like I get it, but no.
I don't get it either.
It's like, no,
And
you have to earn it.
what did we always talk about when we were at Ho Chunk? Participation trophies.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I totally get it. I totally understand, but it just feels like you're not enabling students of any age to earn their way onto a team.
Yeah. And at some point, you're gonna have to come up with that nose. You're gonna have to come with that tough skin, because you can't carry that type of attitude when you're going into the real world, when you're trying to get a job, because people are gonna tell you, "Hey, you're not good enough for this job."
Right.
Hate to break it to you, but you are not good enough for this job. You're not cut out for this job. Are you gonna cry and say, "Well, I get everything because I got trophies all the time with it"? Well, this isn't how it works.
And what really gets me is when people decide to tell people outside of a coaching realm decide to tell you you're not good enough for this, and people who are told that don't use that as motivation.
I'm so glad you said that.
Can I get a witness? They don't use that as motivation.
Didn't Michael get overlooked when he was drafted eligible?
He got cut.
He got cut from high school, right? He got cut from high school, didn't he?
Listen, JJ, I definitely remember your story. Michael Jordan got cut as a sophomore. Became the greatest player ever.
Yeah.
If that ain't motivation, what is? What is? Because I got told so many times over, you'll never be able to do anything in your hometown.
Yep.
JJ got taken off of a broadcast, but JJ said, "Okay, the hell with you. I'm going to keep doing this whether you like it or not."
Yeah. Because that's how
someone always takes an L. Thank you, Shane Lake, for that. My super producer, who was also standing by, and I love you dearly.
Here's what's aggravating me is how many people are getting on his head, getting on Deion's head.
Right.
And Deion is doing things, in my opinion, the way it's supposed to be done.
I'm sorry. Did you say the way it's supposed to be done?
The way it's supposed to be done. The coaches now are more in tune about worrying about people's feelings and if their feelings will be hurt. And Deion's like, bump all that. I'm here to make champions. I wouldn't be surprised if Colorado really gets up there come this season.
I wouldn't be surprised either. I would not be surprised. In fact, I kind of expect it. I kind of expect it. He has a chance to take a Power 5 school to place it that hasn't been since 2005. That's the way it's supposed to be done. And yes, Brian, we're cussing on air.
And we should be behind him because he's a black coach.
Well, you know where I'm going with it. You took me down the road where I wanted to go.
Okay.
You took me down the road because he's a black coach and a black man. He's hated for it. He's hated for it.
Yeah.
Which is stupid to me. He saw an opportunity to build something that is going to be absolutely incredible. And he's going with it.
He's going with it, and he's making it better.
There's a coach that I remember so well by the name of Gary Barnett.
Right.
You know whose school he did that for? Not just Colorado, but the Northwestern Wildcats.
Ooh.
When he took them to the Rose Bowl after the 1995 season.
It's almost
after
like
the 1995 season, he took them to the Rose Bowl.
It's almost like
took the purple to Pasadena.
It's almost like hard work pays off. Like I said before with Scott Hall, hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do.
Guys do.
It's like
then I'm the baddest of the bad guys because I've been written. You and I both, Victor, have been written off so many times over.
Oh yeah.
been written off so many times over. JJ's been written off. Everybody in the chat, at one point in time or another, they've all been written off.
Yeah.
And they're still here.
Because they persevere.
Mm-hmm.
Perseverance is what really tempers you as a person and tempers you as whatever your profession is going to be, whether you're a basketball player, whether you're a sports commentator.
Mm-hmm.
We got the creator. You could be a content creator for 3 to 5 years, and you may only have 10 subscribers.
Yep. Been there with that.
Do you quit there, or do you keep persevering?
You keep going.
Exactly.
You keep going. You don't just become a great content creator overnight. There are peaks and valleys. There are pitfalls that you have to overcome. There are pitfalls that you have to overcome. Period.
Mm-hmm.
I've had to learn that several 100,000 times over.
Yeah, and
I've had to learn that.
I'll ask this question: why is Deion Sanders getting hated for basically doing it the old school right way?
Because he's doing it the right way.
But
he's doing it the right way. He's doing it the way that it's supposed to be done.
But shouldn't you want that though?
I do.
Like, shouldn't you want it? If you're anybody, if you're a fan of Deion, if you're a fan of Colorado, if you're a fan of football in general, wouldn't you want a coach saying, this coach cares?
If you're a fan of success stories.
Yeah. Remember the Titans?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't this sound like something that Coach Boone would do?
Blitz all night.
Blitz
all night.
Doesn't what Deion is doing right now, does it sound like something that Coach Boone would do?
Yeah. That's exactly what Coach Boone would do.
Why would this bother you? I don't get it.
You know how today's society is. Instant gratification. That's easy. And JJ, thank you for saying this, because people want to see him fail. People want to see him fall. And I'm going to go all the way there. Black people want to see him fall the most.
Why?
Because according to them, I'll explain. Because according to them, he ran away from the black community. He ran away from Jackson State. Never mind the fact that he got robbed several times while he was there. Never mind the fact that he was cutting out of his own pocket to upgrade the facilities. Never mind the fact that because of him, every home game was sold out for the 3 years that he was there.
But here's the thing: he did his job. He wasn't going to be there forever.
And we know he wasn't going to be there. We know he wasn't going to be there forever.
He turned the club around. He turned the team around.
Mm-hmm.
They became prominent.
Yep.
It's off to the next challenge. It's off to the next. Did you want him to just get stagnant and complacent in one place? Why? Because
Jackson State did him very dirty.
Well, yes, that too. But I'm just saying, it's like you just want him to stagnate. Why? Because he's doing this for his people. Come on, man.
Well, that's what they wanted. That's not what I wanted.
Come on. It's like, it's ridiculous.
It is.
And like I said, the same people who had so much say about Deion leaving Jackson State and talking about how he's turning his head, how he's done more harm to black people
than good.
Yeah, you're not saying any of that for Brett Favre, who literally took money. Literally stole $5 million of wealth from money. Not saying that only black people.
He stole that money.
Not saying
and
that
no one's saying a thing.
Right. It's like not saying that all black people are on welfare.
Right.
But a lot of lower incomes are unfortunately black people. That could be from lack of opportunities. That could be from lack of effort. That could be from lack of income. It could be anything.
And I went through all three of those living in the port. I went through all three of those.
But having a guy like Brett Favre who can crap out $1 million, even now.
Easy.
But he needs to steal $5 million of welfare money for a volleyball court that's not needed. Yeah, but y'all saying nothing.
And they won't say anything. JJ, it is a crime. But he won't get punished for it.
It is a crime. He even asked while I get caught.
It's flat out a discrepant. JJ, you used the perfect word, discrepancy. He used the perfect word, discrepancy.
He should be
And
in
it's a
jail
big
for it.
time discrepancy.
But the thing is that, but you're gonna get mad and you're gonna ballyhoo and boo-hoo about Deion Sanders going to another school.
Yep, because they don't have. You know what it signals to me also.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to apologize for my next set of comments. A lot of black people just don't have the balls to pursue their dream anymore, no matter how old you are.
Well, because we're told we can't. We're told you can't. How many? Brian, you and I came from the age of you can be the president if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be president of the United States? You can do that. You can be whatever. We were told you can be whatever you want to be. Now, even your own parents tell you, don't dream too big. It's not going to happen.
You know what Mom used to tell me later in her life before she passed away? And again, I say, God rest her soul.
Mm-hmm.
What my mother used to tell me is plan for the best, but expect the worst.
Everyone. Yeah. No, it's a good lesson because then you don't get deflated, right? Plan for the best, hope for the best, expect the worst. It's like, okay, if it doesn't happen, then go to the next one, right? You don't get deflated. But don't tell someone they can't do it. They can't be what they want. Steve Harvey in his last stand-up comedy talked about when he was in school.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he wrote, I want to be on TV.
Yes.
And his teacher got mad and his mom got mad because he was supposed to write what the teacher wrote. His father said, you know what?
No. His father said, no, dream it and do it.
Right. His father said, here's what you do. You take a new sheet of paper, you write, I want to be a police officer, whatever what that teacher wants you to write down.
Mm-hmm.
But you keep the paper, I want to be on TV. You keep that in your drawer.
Yep.
And every day you stand in the mirror with that paper and read what you want to be 5 days a week.
For me, it's 7 because I've had so many people ask me, you know, what I wanted to be growing up. Mm-hmm. I only had 2 dream jobs: a game show host and a sports announcer. I'm doing the second one. I'm doing the second one. And if I could borrow from someone currently that's doing this as well as calling games, Paul Allen.
Yeah.
Paul Allen's got the Paul Allen show up in Minneapolis, and he's the voice of the Minnesota Vikings.
We as black people have been told multiple times that we can't do something, we can't get something because of white people.
Well, I never listen to reasons like that. Drew Willingham in the house with us.
Sensei Drew.
And I owe Drew an apology for this past Tuesday because my body was being stupid. It was a holiday. I had planned to join him for the holiday edition of the Sports Senseis, but my body was being stupid. Many apologies to you. I know it won't bring back, the episode that you did, and it was an incredible episode, but I just got to put that out there.
But the thing I'm trying to say is that
I'm tired of excuses being made.
Yeah, the thing I'm trying to say is that we're always told that it's because some other organization, some race of people are telling us that we can't get there, but we're not encouraged by our own people to shoot for those dreams either. We're not encouraged anymore.
You know another sports star who was like ripped to shreds when he said, "Put your big boy pants on and go chase your dreams"? Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
Charles Barkley has stood by that message. Yeah. And will continue to stand by that message.
But he's also a hard knock.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with MJ.
He's old school. If you can't don't do it if you ain't got the balls to persevere.
But look at the company that Charles Barkley is part of. He's part of the Deion Sanders crew. He's part of the MJ crew.
Mm-hmm.
The Larry Bird crew. The ones who are like, if you get knocked down, get up and get back in there. We are now conditioned by society that if you get knocked down, stay down and cry and say, well, it's because someone else is not giving me a chance.
What the hell with that? I may get frustrated. You've heard me frustrated so many
Yeah.
times over in these 28 years. I may have been broken. I may have had the hell stomped out of me verbally, but you ain't gonna stop me. You're not gonna stop me.
Can't
You're
stop,
not gonna
won't
stop
stop.
us. You're
Can't
not gonna
stop, won't
us.
stop.
It don't stop because it can't stop. Thank you, Bobby, for that. And for
Yes.
those of you that try to come against us,
Ooh, I'm dying.
will be your end result. One more break, and when we come back, you can ask Brian anything for about 10 minutes. Back in a minute. The thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
Hey y'all, Snowman here. Catch me, Cole Johnson, Wise El Jefe, Vicalah, and the rest of the usual suspects and a few unusual suspects as we bring you 2 hours of the best sports talk you will ever watch and listen to. It's called Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Now on at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific on CSTV and CSTVNow.com. Join us, won't you?
This planet has been great to me. It's given me gifts that I can't even explain. It's given me adventures and memories I'll never forget. And Battleborn, I think, has given me the opportunity to go beyond and give something back. How can I be a better custodian to this planet and the place I live? That's where I am with Battleborn. Let's make the planet a better place.
PK Tire Pro is your one-stop on-the-spot auto service headquarters for a complete line of quality tires and auto services. For years, we have provided the Stockton, California area with the latest products and unprecedented services for everything we sell. And for years, our customers have been coming back. Take a look around. If you don't find what you need, visit us in Stockton, California. From the latest and best in tire technology to the services required to keep your vehicle looking good and running great, PK Tire Pros can get you out on the road quickly and at an affordable price. Stop by soon to see why so many people consider PK Tire Pros to be the one-stop shop for all of their tire needs. At PK Tire Pros, our friendly and knowledgeable staff, quick and dependable service professionals, and affordable prices all come together to make driving out on a new set of tires easy. On top of that, we never tire of tires. Stop by and see us, and you'll be glad you did.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
Folks, welcome back. Thanks for hanging with me during what happened earlier today. I really appreciate you guys. Don't forget, beginning Monday, on all of our channels, the Brian Snow Show moves to 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So from 4 to 6, I'll have this show for you. Of course, you know Snowman in the Morning has already made the move from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. You can see both shows on CSTV and CSTVNow.com. Time to wrap this up and put a bow on this. What was the text line for earlier? For people to text in their thoughts. For people to text in their thoughts. And tomorrow it'll be a full episode. It'll be a full episode of Ask Brian Anything. JJ chimes in. For those of you who don't know, Brian and I had to talk off the air. And this man literally took time out of his night to have a talk with me because I was having one of those doubtful nights where I questioned everything. I also cried and shed tears because I knew he understood what I was going through. 28 years worth, man. Believe me, 28 years. 28 years of blood, sweat, and tears.
Everybody goes to those doubts. everybody goes through those doubtful moments. I mean, when I lost my apartment, I want to say it was 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Lost my job at CNA, then got a new job, but it was only a temp, and basically got evicted from my first apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Had lived with my uncle for a while. It was embarrassing. And
Yeah.
honestly, part of me is like, this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be living with my uncle for I don't know how long,
Mm-hmm.
because I just don't see myself getting out of it. And lo and behold, I said, I can't do that. I can't think that way.
Right.
Because I want my own place. I want to be my own person. I want to live my own life and be successful.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone has their doubtful moments. I mean, Snowman, if I may be afforded, one of the most interesting situations that ever happened when we lived together was when we lost our electricity.
Yes.
For a couple of weeks, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And
we did.
I was, and both of us were down.
Yeah, man.
It was crazy.
Yeah, we were.
But you know what? We said, you know what? We got candles. We got some battery power. We got ways to get around it. And we did.
We did. And I got to give you credit for this, for reciting Cat Williams to me.
Mm-hmm.
As down as I felt, because I thought I was letting you down, Victor comes in with a bunch of candles and he said, "You see these?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Just think of Cat Williams. I got candles now and I'm ready to burn those bitches."
Yeah. So it's what
When
you
he
gotta
said
do.
that got me back on my feet.
It's what you gotta do. Sometimes you gotta do things that that they're not gonna be fun, but you can't just sit down and let it walk over you.
Yeah. And I got to give a shout to my buddy Charles Faulkner and his army there for always supporting me and my programming here, because he always does like an on-air ad for me whenever he's on live. So shout to them there. Sick Digging included. BGS, of course, the very playful war BGS and I had on the air. We both wound up laughing for an hour.
My uncle gave me some really good advice.
Yeah.
You look at, whenever you're in those situations, and I want everybody who hears me to say this, you look in the mirror and you say with a clear voice, "It is not over until I win."
Mm-hmm.
The fight is not over until I win. Because
let me give y'all a little Yordan Alvarez for a little motivation. This is Game 6 of the World Series. Astros were down 1-0 until this happened.
On a 2-1, Alvarez hits a high drive center field. Veer leans back. This game is turned upside down.
Ain't no rule, ain't not a rule in the book that says you can't turn a situation upside down.
No, there isn't.
Ain't a situation in the book where it says you can't turn this situation upside down. Not a doggone thing.
Nothing can stop you except for you.
And nothing will stop me. Period. Nothing will stop us.
But that goes back to my question, is that how come we're not teaching our kids this? How come we're not motivating our kids that this is what you can be? This is what
in most cases, fear. Fear. I am so proud of my wife, Jody, for teaching her kids the same thing, teaching our kids the same thing. Don't be afraid to dream.
Yeah.
F that. I'm not afraid to dream anymore.
You'll never know until you try.
I stared down cancer and kicked it in the ass.
Yeah.
Don't tell me nothing's impossible. From being basically given a death sentence.
Mm-hmm.
From Duke University, being given a death sentence. You know how much time my wife spent crying?
Yeah.
Being told by one of the supposed premier cancer centers in the country that there was nothing they could do, that the tumor was inoperable?
Yeah.
Oh, I said, no. I mean, we both were crying on the way back from North Carolina when we got the news. No. That's when her resolve kicked in and said, "Oh, no, I need you here." Well, Jody, baby, here I am.
I'm not going
any damn where.
And that's the true end mark of marriage right there. That's the true mark of marriage.
Mm-hmm. Any other? I'll say this aloud, and I'm gonna make this very personal. Any other woman that I dated before would have left in a blink.
Yeah.
Dr. K said, Dr. K said, not in this world, you're not.
Right.
Well, the only thing I have to leave now is to get ready to play Whamageddon with Blanky, and I gotta take care of a couple things before we do that in an hour. But Victor, thank you so much for hopping on yet again with some random musings and pinch hitting when I needed you. And thank you to all of the pinch hitters that I've developed over the years. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much for having me. I don't know what I'm going to say until you tell me to say it.
Don't you ever tell me. You know what?
Why the you lying? Why you always lying?
Don't ever tell that lie again with that smile. God bless y'all. See you tomorrow.
Thank you for tuning into The Brian Snow Show, where sports is the base, life and fun are the results.